I'd like to call the Fiscal Service Committee meeting to order for May 6, 2024. Have the roll call, please.
Council Burridge?
Here.
Council Benucci?
Here.
Council Walker?
Here.
Council Gozick?
Here.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the committee meeting held on April 15, 2024? Councilor Walker, Councilor Benucci.
Council Burridge?
Yes.
Council Benucci?
Yes.
Council Walker?
Yes.
Council Gozick?
Yes.
I see no old business. I'll move into communications. Number one, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from Mercedes Neese, Executive Director of the H. Lee White Maritime Museum regarding the H. Lee White Museum's Paddle Fest to be held on Saturday, July 13th, 2024. Is there anybody that would like to speak on this matter?
Mercedes.
This will be our 10th year, I believe, that we've been running this. Well, that it's been running. We took over, I don't know, about 7 years ago. And we've been running it ever since. We meet with the Oswego Fire Department. We already had a meeting last week to go over the safety opportunities for training for the whole county, the disaster people, the Sheriff's Department, Coast Guard, Auxiliary, Minetto Fire Department. Everybody's going to be involved. As we get closer to the event, everybody will be at the table and review the whole safety part of it. We're adding an extra leg to it this year, another short leg that'll go from Fulton to Minetto. And last year we ended at Wright's Landing. If you had an opportunity to be there or see anything on the internet or in the newspaper, it was very well attended, beautiful day, and people have really enjoyed themselves. Last year we had music and use of the grassy area right there across from where the boats would pull out. So we're looking to do that again this year, Saturday, July 13th.
Any counselors have any questions? I just have one. How many entries you guys have last year?
We were under 300,
Yeah,
so
about
that's,
260. We're shooting for 400.
yes,
That's
that's
a bunch.
the goal.
That's our target numbers.
Yeah. I think that's why we're adding another leg. People, it's too hard to go from Fulton to Oswego unless you're a very experienced paddler. So if we have another short leg, then we hope we'll get more attendance and get people to come down and enjoy the waterfront.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, please? Counselor Walker, Counselor Gozick.
Council Burridge?
Yes.
Council Benucci?
Yes.
Council Walker?
Yes.
Council Gozick?
Yes.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Number two, the Office of Economic Development received a request from the Oswego County Federal Credit Union to organize and host movies in the park to be held on June 26, 2024 in Washington Square Park. Does anybody here like to speak on that? This has been an ongoing project for the credit union for quite some time now. Fills up the park pretty well, a lot of young children there. I'd like to have a motion for this, please. Counselor Benucci, Counselor Gozick.
Council Burridge?
Yes.
Council Benucci?
Yes.
Council Walker?
Yes.
Council Gozick?
Yes.
Number three, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from Gina, going to make a mistake on this, Whole Sopel of Gina Marie Music Studio to host a recital on June 2nd, 2024 at the Veterans Stage from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. as well as a waiver of the noise ordinance. Anybody here like to speak on that? This has been a reoccurring event also. I'd like to have a motion on it, please. Councilor Benucci, Councilor Walker.
Council Burridge?
Yes.
Council Benucci?
Yes.
Council Walker?
Yes.
Council Gozick?
Yes.
Number four, Craig Ribbior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, has received a request from Patty Timon in order to donate a memorial bench in honor of Norma D. Amber to be located along the West Linear Park. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on that? Like to have a motion to accept? Councilor Gozick? Councilor Benucci?
Council Burridge?
Yes.
Council Benucci?
Yes.
Council Walker?
Yes.
Council Gozick?
Yes.
Number 5, Mayor Robert A. Cordino has received a request from Kathy Walker to accept a donation of a 15-inch by 15-inch memorial plaque honoring Thomas Egger B. Shores to be installed at the Wrights Landing Pavilion. Is there anybody here that would like to speak?
How's everybody doing tonight? First of all, I'd just like, thanks for having me, Mayor Cordino, members of the council. My name is Brooks B. Shores. Edgar was my father, and I'm sure at one point in all our lives, we said to ourselves, why do we live in Oswego? I'm not sure my father ever asked that question. We've all taken vacations to warmer weather, maybe gone to see historic sites, traveled to a big city. After all that, I know at least for him, it felt right to come back to Oswego. Thomas B. Shores was a lifelong resident who was known around town as Edgar. He always told me that you bloom where you're planted. Maybe as a child, I never really understood that. As an adult now, I find that it couldn't be any more true. My father didn't just help me grow. He coached generations of kids playing hockey, baseball, long before me, long after me. There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. Someone who isn't inspired by money, someone who isn't driven by any sort of personal gain, someone who just wants to see something be better. That's really what true passion is. That passion carried on to his role as the Harborfest Music Committee, onto the Harborfest Music Committee. He could truly make a difference he always thought he could truly make a bigger difference bringing acts to the city. I'll never forget listening to Gomez and company on TK99 and TK105 when they did an interview with him about one of the many acts coming to town. They deemed him that day Mr. Harborfest. Every July when Harborfest would kick off, he'd walk onto the stage and introduce the acts. A lot of the times, the applause for him would be bigger for the bands. His life was cut short in 2009 with a short bout with an aggressive cancer. The following year in 2020, I'm sure we all remember what happened then, Harborfest was canceled that year. We joked, it was almost his way of looking down and saying, if I can't be there, no one can. But that's not truly what he wanted, at all. He was so proud of the city. He loved the city and all that it had to offer. He was so honored to be a part of it and proud to be one of the many voices of Harborfest. After his passing, our family wanted to do something special in honor of his memory. Something that would last, something that we know he'd appreciate, something worthy of him. If anyone here knew my father, if he wasn't hanging up at his house on the top of the West A Street Hill, he was down at Brightback walking the shoreline. My family here today to ask if we could if you'll honor us with naming the pavilion down at the marina after my father. We couldn't think of a more deserving way to honor his memory, a legacy of someone who gave a lot more than he ever took. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. B. Shores. Mr. Walker?
Hi, folks. Lee Walker. Edgar was my brother-in-law, and this started when he passed away. I was talking to the former mayor, Billy, and we were originally going to buy a bench with a plaque, and the mayor said, geez, Lee, we don't need no more benches. We got enough benches. Let's do something else. So that's when we come up with the idea of down at the pavilion down at Wrights Landing, and he was for it, and as the summer flew by last year, it didn't happen, and I talked to him in the fall. He said, let the new mayor take care of it. So when the new mayor came in, I said, of course, I've known the mayor since I was 5 years old, the new mayor, and I asked him about it, and he absolutely knew nothing about it. Nobody told him a thing about it. So I want to tip my hat to Mayor Cordino for taking the bull by the horns for me and following through with it. And I think my nephew said enough about Edgar. I don't know how many knew him on the floor here, but I know he played ball and went to school with the mayor, and it'll be an honor to do it. And we're going to have we'll be paying for the plaque, and when we have a dedication, there'll be some light snacks and refreshments. And I appreciate your time, and thank you very much. And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Can I have a motion, please? Mr. Gozick, Mr. Walker?
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
You just need a motion to adjourn, please. Counselor Vernucci, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
This time, I would like to call to order the Administrative Services Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Plunkett,
Here.
Counselor Burridge,
Here.
Counselor Allen. Here. Counselor Benucci,
Here.
Counselor Walton.
Here.
I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting held on April 15th, 2024. Counselor Walton, Counselor Vernucci.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Is there any old business? Move on to item number 1 under communication. The Office of Economic Development requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds in the amount of $7,365 from the general fund contingent account to the tourism contracted services account to pay an invoice relating to the 2024 Eclipse event. Is there anyone here to speak on this? Matt? Maddie? Did you want to speak on this, Maddie?
Good evening. I don't know if you heard, we had an event a few weeks ago. The sun was up in the sky and it got dark and lights came on, street lights came on. Well, there was months and months, probably almost a year that went into planning for that. Our police department, our fire department, economic development office, DPW, went in and did a lot of planning for that. And part of the planning was to make sure we had enough porta-johns, believe it or not. We didn't know if we were going to get 10,000 people or 100,000 people. And of course, it was all dependent on whether it was a cloudy day or not. And as we got, so we had originally, not knowing what was going on, we ordered 10 porta-johns. And then as we got closer to the event, it happened on a Monday, probably Thursday or Friday when we saw the forecast that, you know, there's a good chance that we'll have a very nice day for this eclipse. People started worrying that we didn't have enough bathrooms. I got to be honest. When I took this job, I didn't know I had to worry about bathrooms. But it was an important decision that we had to make. So we upped the total from 10 to 60, and we strategically located them throughout the city, whether it was Brightback Park, East First Street, Linear Park. We put them all over, and as far as I know, there was no complaints or issues that we didn't have enough, which I'm so grateful for that, because we certainly wouldn't want to be known as the city with not enough toilets. So at this point, we didn't budget for all these toilets, and now I'm asking for this pavement to cover the cost of those porta-johns. Any questions?
Could I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen? Counselor Benucci?
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen. Yes. Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Okay, item number 2 under communication, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to accept a grant in the amount of $15,000 to acquire a 4-seated electric golf cart. Commissioner?
Good evening, councilors. A few months back, Mayor Cordino passed along a grant opportunity for me to look into through NYSERDA for some sort of lighting upgrade or electric vehicle. We were looking at electric lawnmowers, electric weed eaters, electric leaf blowers. Nothing really seemed to fit the bill. Lighting upgrades, we're already doing the lighting upgrades that need to be done, so that didn't really fall in. We came up with this thought of how about a transportation cart for down at the marina and Brightback Park. A lot of people visiting, mobility issues, help them get to the fire pit patios, help them get out to the end of the Hill Pier, et cetera, et cetera. That fit the bill. We were able to secure the grant. The total cost for the golf cart is $15,140.10. So if we accept this grant, cost to the city is $140.10.
Any questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burrage,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Item number 3 under communication, City Engineer Jeff Hinterleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign a professional services agreement prepared by MCWB Architects in the amount of $67,380 for a feasibility study for the Ponzi Recreation Center renovation project. City Engineer?
Good evening. The mayor approached my office about seeking a grant to help renovate the Ponzi building. So I reached out to Mesick, Wilson, Cohen, and Baker Architects. They are the architects who did our City Hall renovation, which was the exterior and stabilizing this wall. They specialize in historic buildings. And so we approached them, and the grant application window is pretty narrow. And so we got them moving, and now we're asking to sign this agreement. This agreement won't cost us anything. We currently had an agreement that was signed with another firm for some work down at the McCrovey building, which is not happening. And I had an open PO sitting in my budget that I needed to close, and so that money has been encumbered and trickling along while we are waiting to decide the fate of that project. So since we are not pursuing that project, we closed that PO and are instead transferring those funds into this contract. So this won't cost us anything that is unbudgeted. Instead, the money's there already, and this will enable us to pursue a grant to hopefully come up with a creative and potentially commercial use for that building.
Any questions? Sounds like a win-win. Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Vernucci?
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes?
Counselor Burrage,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Item number 4 under communication, City Engineer Jeff Hinterleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign amendment number 5 with LaBella Associates, DPC, for the Conway Municipal Center roof and masonry project, and further authorize the city chamberlain to complete a budget amendment to the engineering contracted services account in the amount of $8,565.32 for same.
So you'll see the next agenda item is to accept the bid for the Conway building. And if you've been here on a windy day, you'll see it's a pretty friendly building as the roof waves at you. We don't like that generally with our roofs, and so we want to have that fixed. So hopefully you will approve that project, taking care of that. In anticipation of that, I reached out to the architectural firm that put that project together. This is for construction services. You'll see it's an odd dollar amount that doesn't quite match what their agreement is. This is because we had some extra funds within my 440 that I'm helping to offset this with, and so the roughly $8,500 and some odd dollars are what we need to be able to make that contract whole. And so I'm just asking that we approve that so that we can retain the architect to oversee the project and make sure all the submittals and everything matches what the contractor bid on.
Any questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Walton, Counselor Vernucci?
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes?
Counselor Burrage,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Item number 5 under communication. City Engineer Jeff Hinterleiter requests acceptance of the bid submitted by Pack and Associates of Oswego Incorporated in the amount of $1,609,000 for general construction of the re-roofing and facade repairs project at the Conway Municipal Center.
So we had actually bid this project last year. The prices came in higher than this. Part of that was it was a late bid, and so it was trying to get a contractor here in short order. But last I knew with projects, they usually don't get better over time. And after talking to the court, who is a tenant of ours, we've had some issues that we really need to take care of this roof. And so we rebid the project and secured this bid price of $1.6 million. This includes full replacement of the roof. It does not doesn't include a tear off of the deck. It'll be redecking and then roofing with the same roof that we have here on City Hall, the same type of roof, which is a really high quality roof. It also includes facade repairs. If you've walked around the building. This is a very historic building that's here in the city. And the building is actually a stone with a treatment that's on top of the stone to make it look uniform. That treatment is deteriorated, particularly on this western face and around the top. And so this contract is to both take care of the roof, but also do spot repairs on the masonry to tighten that envelope up to try to prevent any further damage from occurring to the building.
Any questions? Councilman Walker?
Yeah, I have two of them. Why did Cornerstone rescind their bid?
So their bid was considerably low, and that was after talking to the contractor, they forgot to put the roof in their bid.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And my second part of the question, are we bonding for this, or?
That's the plan, is to bond for this project. Currently, I don't believe we have the reserve funds, or we're not gonna use any reserve funds for this, but we'll take out a short-term bond, is my understanding.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Get a motion, please. Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton?
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Benucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 6 under communication, City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign supplemental request number 1 with JMT in the amount of $305,000 for additional professional services regarding the Riverwalk West, Bridge Street to West Utica Street project.
So the Riverwalk project seems like the project that never ends. It just keeps having delays and issues with it. We are approaching conclusion of the area. We should, from the area Utica Street North, it should be concluded before Harbor Fest, should be wrapped up and reopened. So this is to extend the construction inspection contract. This is a not-to-exceed extension, so the price seems high, but this is kind of a worst-case scenario. If this were to continue through to the end of the year, it likely is not, and so we should not exceed this amount. There actually should be a deduct coming on this contract in particular, but we often try to not have to come back over and over again. So this is an authorization to bring it up to that point. This is a FEMA project, and these services should be reimbursed from FEMA. We're working through all of that process and communicating with FEMA, making sure that that happens. But this will be for construction inspection services for the remainder of the project closeout.
Any questions for the city engineer? Counselor
Yes,
Walton?
sir.
Ideally, what is the timeframe that you're looking at for it to potentially be completed?
We should be substantially complete by the end of June with punch list button up into July, and then we should be open again. The intention is to, as things are done, we'll kind of roll it out and keep it opening. The project has run into a number of just really big challenges that have caused us to slow down and reconsider our approach on a few things to keep it safe and stable. So it unfortunately has taken us a lot longer than we wanted.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any more questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Venucci?
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Benucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 7 under communication, City Attorney Kevin Caracoli requests an executive session to discuss the financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation. If I get a motion to go into executive session, Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton?
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Benucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.